Chicago was Vegas before Vegas. If you wanted to gamble, you could gamble anywhere in Chicago. Any saloon, any drugstore, anywhere. These machines here are the original vice of slot machines. You had ton and ton of machines come because the manufacturers were here in Chicago. You had Mills, which is the biggest. You also had Jennings, which I consider like Chevy and Ford. That's how I compare them to. Those were the two main manufacturers. And they produce probably 95% of everything in Chicago. They have a lot of machines where they would give gum. So every time you played the machine, you get a piece of gum. That was their way of getting around the law. There's other machines they would give mints. There's other machines that you read the fortune tell on the reels, where it gives your fortune. And so they get many ways to get around the law to legally gamble. Again, because everything was under the mafia, that was another way where they ran it and said, okay, let's see what you make. They would be in back saloons in the back, a lot of illegal gambling places. You'd find them in brothels, drugstores, and even candy shops. They would have them on the counter where people would come and play and gamble. They would be in casinos for legal, but most of the stuff that we found were in areas that were not. Well, I can tell you, bought some machines from an operator who knew Capone and actually bought his violin machine, which we have in the back. But he would say that you had to have a connection to run machines. Like I said, otherwise you weren't going too far. There's suburbs out here where Capone was from Cicero. And so the whole area was run by him, and to be honest with you, up to about 30 years ago, there's still connections there. Well, when I was a kid, my father bought a machine out of Fox Lake from a gentleman named Bernie. Bernie worked for Al Capone. Bernie ran machines for Al Capone. How he met Al Capone was he was doing his own, selling his own liquor. Capone confronted him, and this guy, Bernie, did not know this was Al Capone and got in his face. And he goes, I'm hiring you, son. And so he told us a story. We had one machine that he had at Fox Lake, and he said there were people lined around the block just to play the machine. And so that his connection, and he told many stories about Al Capone and stuff that I cannot say here. So to own a piece of history and gambling of history, this is where it's at.